सो हेलो स्टूडेंट, कैसे हो आप सब। स्वागत है आपका आपके अपने यूट्यूब चैनल स्टडी विद आशु में। सो स्टूडेंट्स, इन प्रीवियस वीडियो वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस अबाउट a basic fundamental feature of classification or basis of classification of lower invertebrate and five kingdom schemes के बारे में. So in this particular video we will going to discuss about phylum Protozoa, which include unicellular organism and microscopic unicellular organism. Okay, and because life was started with unicellular organism, so this phylum is very primitive or very old, we can say. Okay, and if you talk about body organization in this phylum, so we give the term protoplasmic level of body organization of this phylum. Protoplasmic level of body organization. Okay, why we call protoplasmic? Because in protozoa all function, all physiological activity perform in single cell, in boundary of single cell. Okay, so we can say single cell perform all vital physiological activity. Okay, and we already discussed that this phylum includes unicellular. Okay, and also cell organism can contain one or more nucleus. Okay, nucleus, so contain one or more nuclei. Okay, so in cell there will be only one nucleus present, or either more than one nucleus also may be present. Okay, so accordingly we give the term mono and heterodi या फिर sorry multi nuclei. Okay, so then if we talk about the symmetry, so symmetry may be present or may be absent. Okay, and if present there will be maybe a possibility that symmetry is spherical, like in volvox, radiolaria and holozoa, radiolaria and volvox. And if you talk about bilateral symmetry also may be present. Okay, like plasmodium like organism, and radial symmetry also may be present in some of few protozoans. Okay, then pellicle. So pellicle is what? So pellicle is a outer cells, outer boundaries, we can say a soft cell. So below the cell wall, below the cell membrane in cell, so a proteinous cell boundary can be present in unicellular organism that decide the structure of unicellular organism and maintain the structure, and also some physiological activity. So and soft cell we can say, so this soft cell called pellicle. So pellicle also may be present in unicellular organism. Okay, so what is pellicle? We can define by body bounded by pellicle, and this is what soft cell. Okay, So if we talk about next locomotion, so locomotion also may be present or may be absent. So if locomotion present, so locomotion may be done by pseudopodia. So pseudopodia, what is pseudopodia? Like in amoeba. So this projection, finger like projection called pseudopodia. Okay, pseudopodia. So this is amoeba, you can say, and in amoeba locomotion done by pseudopodias. Okay, so pseudopodia is finger like projection. And locomotion also can be done by flagella in phylum Protozoa. Flagella. Okay, so flagella is whip-like structure, like in Euglena. This whip-like structure is known as flagella. Okay, so and locomotion also done by cilia. Okay, so cilia is a hair-like structure, like in paramecium. Hair like structure, so like in paramecium. So paramecium. Okay, so this hair like structure is called cilia. Okay, then a locomotion also may be absent. Okay, and if you talk about nutrition next, nutrition in phylum Protozoa. So nutrition, if you talk about nutrition, so nutrition can be maybe almost four type of nutrition are present in phylum Protozoa. Like first is holozoic type of nutrition. So in holozoic type of nutrition, cell, unicell, or organism or animal um, feed the nutrition, take the nutrition like animal like mode of take of nutrition. Okay, so animal like nutrition अगर वो ले रहे हैं, so then they include in holozoic nutrition. Okay, and if they make their food and take their food like plant. Okay, so then they call by holophytic. So in holophytic plant like nutrition. Okay, and then new term is come like saprozoic is what so if animal depend on the dead animals. Okay, so if protozoan depends on feed on dead animals, dead materials, so they called the nutrition type called saprozoic nutrition. Okay, so in this saprozoic, protozoans feed on dead animals. Okay, then the last type is comes in this phylum parasite mode of nutrition. So as you all know, protozoans feed on other animals. Okay, so other living organism, other living animals, so they may be depends on or feed on outer body surface of other animals. So then we can call ectoparasitic, or if protozoans live inside the other animal and feed some nutrition inside the animal, so we can say endoparasitic. So in parasitic mode of nutrition, protozoan feed on other animal. Okay, so then we talk about digestion. So in digestion, so digestion, because protozoan is a unicellular organism, so all the digestion process occur in a single cell. So because digestion happened in cell, inside the cell, so we called a term intracellular digestion. ओके, सो इंट्रा मीन्स इनसाइड, सेलुलर मतलब सेल, सो सेल के अंदर डाइजेशन हो रहा है, सो कॉल्ड इंट्रा सेलुलर डाइजेशन. एंड वन organelles also play vital roles in this digestion process called contractile vacuoles. Okay, so contractile vacuole. So what is contractile vacuole? We can understand by this example. For example, this is a unicellular protozoans, and this is their nucleus, and this is what we call contractile vacuoles. Okay, so for example, in this cell, solute concentration is very high. Solute concentration is very high. For example, glucose and other kind of solutes. Okay, so ions and many more. So indirectly we can say solute concentration is very high in this cell. So solute concentration is very high. It means all available amount of water holding these solutes, holding these solutes. Okay, so indirectly we can say H2O or water concentration is very low in this cell, inside the cell, because um, all the water molecules are available for holding the solutes concentration. Okay, so maintaining solute concentration, so indirectly free water molecules is very low, but the surrounding environment contain H2O or contain water molecules is very high. Okay, and so surrounded environment in this surrounding outer environment of protozoan, uh, H2O is very high. So what is osmosis? So osmosis say that high amount of water, so movement of water is through high water to low water movement of water. Okay, high concentration to low concentration of water. Okay, so now what happens now? For example, this is cells. So this protozoan, these cells taken lots of water inside the cell, so then they may be become swollen. So this is nucleus. So now water comes inside the cell. Okay, so this is vacuoles, and water slowly enters in these cells. So for preventing cell rupture by extreme swelling, by extreme intake of water, so then now contractile vacuole play a role. Then now what is then now how contractile vacuole play a role? So these water molecules taken intake by contractile vacuole. So now again this is cell, and this is nucleus, and this is contractile vacuoles intake the water, who intake the whole water inside the contractile vacuole, and excrete out the water molecules. So again maintain the proper size, maintain the normal size. This is normal, so maintain the again normal size by the help of contractile vacuoles. So again contractile vacuole also comes in their normal size. Okay, so with this process, contractile vacuoles are going to play a role in osmoregulation, but this contractile vacuole also play a role in respiration. Okay, and excretion also. Okay, so also play a role in respiration and excretion. Okay, so next if we talk about digestion, we already talk about digestion, and so next we talk about reproduction. So reproduction occur by both process, asexual and sexual okay, asexual and sexual. In asexual process, so what is asexual process of reproduction? In asexual, we does not need any any partner or any other species for reproduction. Okay, so single cell, single protozoan can uh, self reproduce self. Okay, and produce progeny, produce next generation. Okay, so asexual also different type of mode of reproduction, like fission, so multiple fission or binary fission. Okay, binary fission and multiple fission. And another type of asexual reproduction is budding. So in this binary fission process, a single cell protozoan having a chromatin materials nucleus. Okay, so first nucleus will divide and replicates their chromatin materials. So nucleus can be uh, go in both of the cells. Okay, so this parent cell will start dividing by cytokinesis followed by karyokinesis. Okay, so follow this process, this cell, this protozoan become two protozoans. Okay, by single protozoan. Okay, so without any need of any partner cells. Okay, so this called process we called binary fission. Okay, but in multiple fission, this chromatin material or nucleus was divided into multi nucleus. Okay, so multiple nucleus in multiple fission, then divided into this cell into multiple cells. Okay, so for example 1 2 3 4, in this case one protozoan produce 4 progeny cells. Okay, so 4 progeny organism, unicellular organism. So this is what we call multiple fission. But in budding, so budding like in yeast, budding process will be done. Okay, so by asexually, so this is yeast, so this is yeast, so some part of yeast bud out from this unicellular bodies, like this is bud form. Okay, so outgrowth of outer cells, um, gradually become bud. Okay, so outpocketing of this cell, after some growth of this bud, nucleus will be divided into two chromatin, and one chromatin set is transformed in this bud. Okay, so now in this bud also have their own nucleus or chromatin materials. Then after transforming nucleus, this bud deattaches from this body parental body and form new adult like uh, parent like body. Okay, so this is what we call budding process, budding. Okay, and in asexual reproduction, in sexual reproduction, we need a partner cell, we need a partner, we need two protozoans for reproduction in sexual reproduction. So in sexual reproduction, we have conjugation. So in conjugation, or also conjugation also have a type like also we call hologamy. Okay, so in hologamy, for example, a paramecium fuse with another paramecium, the whole set of organism, whole set of protozoan animals, so they together fuse and they share their nucleus, and then perform like a single cell, and then divided divided by meiotically. Meiotic first produce two cell, and then meiotic second produce four cell. So by this process, sexually reproduction done, and two cell produce four cell progeny. So in this sexually reproduction, but this is reproduction we called hologamy. But in syngamy, what syngamy in syngamy process, not whole body of protozoans fuse, only the gametes, only the nucleus, only the gametes get fused, and then divided by mitotically, and produce four cell uh, progeny. So so okay so hope you all understand about the reproduction in protozoan. So then if we talk about, then in protozoan, like a part of body called trichocyst also may be present in protozoan. Trichocyte cyst or trichocyst, what is trichocyst? Trichocyst is a defensing organ in protozoans. Okay, so defensing organ, so they maybe act like a prey capture, maybe role in prey capture. Okay, so trichocyst maybe role in prey captures or food capturing, uh, and like projection like structure like this is for example a unicellular protozoans, and in this tracheocyte will be present, and this tracheocyte maybe comes outside from this protozoan when the prey are present outside, and for prey capturing, this trichocyte like come outside for the capturing prey. Okay, so this is about trichocyst. And then a new term also come like encystment. So what is encystment? Is protective covering like chitinous protective covering outside the protozoans made in unfavorable condition. Okay, uh, so we can say made protective covering protective chitinous covering because that covering is made up by chitin polysaccharide chitin. Okay, so made protective chitin covering and that covering then that is process occur in unfavorable condition. Okay, so unfavorable condition like food scarcity. Okay, so food means भोजन की कमी, food scarcity, and temperature irregular temperature or extreme temperature uh, limit may be meet. Okay, so extreme temperature and high moistures or high osmotic pressures. Okay, so this kind of if unfavorable condition if comes, then protozoan may be through uh, incestment process and also reproduce sexually reproduction do sexually reproduction in unfavorable condition. Okay, and then we start with the classification of the protozoan. So let's start with the classification of the protozoan. So protozoan terms is given by Goldfuss scientist. Okay, so Goldfuss scientist give the term protozoans. Okay, and classification of protozoans based on their locomotory organs. Okay, so locomotory organs like flagella, pseudopodia, cilia, okay, or their absence of locomotory organs. So for example, four subphylum are present in this phylum protozoa. So four subphylum. Okay, so phylum protozoa, subphylum, like first subphylum is sarcomastigophora. Okay, so in sarcomastigophora, so what is the locomotory organ? First we have to decide. First we have to configure that pseudopodia or flagella or maybe both are present in protozoans, so their subphylum is sarcomastigophora. Okay, and this is monomorphic protozoan. Monomorphic means as we already discussed about that nucleus may be uh, present only one or maybe more than one. Okay, so if only one type of nucleus present in protozoans, then we give the term monomorphic. Okay, so this subphylum also have three superclasses. Okay, so every phylum have classes. Okay, so and classes also have like, so what is the hierarchical system? Like phylum, then subphylum. Okay, then class. So class also maybe have a super prefix super class and suffix subclass. Okay, so here we discuss about super classes. Okay, so this hierarchical, this taxa we will going to discuss. Okay, so superclass, so three superclass present in the subphylum sarcomastigophora. Okay, so what is first superclass? So first superclass is mastigophora. Okay, so sarcomastigophora and mastigophora is a sarcomastigophora is subphylum and mastigophora is a superclass. So in mastigophora superclass, the locomotory organ is flagella. Okay, so flagella like in euglena we will going to discuss about the example euglena what euglena have a flagella like structure. Okay, for locomotion. And in superclass mastigophora, Nutrition or mode of nutrition may be autotrophic and also maybe have heterotrophic mode of nutrition or maybe both. So in Euglena, both type of nutrition occur, autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay, so on the basis of type of nutrition, autotrophic or heterotrophic, this superclass also have two class. So superclass Mysticophora have two classes, uh, Phytomysticophora and Zoomasticophora. So in Phytomysticophora class of Mysticophora superclass, what we will have? We have animals having chlorophyll presence. Okay, so those organisms, those protozoans having chlorophylls, so comes in this class Phytomysticophora, and reserve food in this protozoan in form of starch and parenchymal. Okay, so flagella maybe one or maybe two in this organism. So six order also present in this class Phytomysticophora, but the level of BSc may not ask about the order. Okay, so their syllabus all include only up to classes. Okay, so only you must remember the example of this class Phytomysticophora. So Phytomysticophora classes including the example Euglena, Copromonas, Volvox, Chlamydomonas and Noctula. Okay, so their prospective order also included in this slide, so you can uh, further consider for higher level of examination like RPSC. And another class of this superclass Masticophora is Zoomasticophora. So in Zoomasticophora, chlorophyll is absent. Okay, and reserve food is in form of glycogen. Okay, and six order also included in this class Zoomasticophora, like Kinetoplastida, Hypermastida, and Trichomonetida. But the example is important like Trypanosoma, Leishmaniasis, and Trichonympha and Trichomonas. Okay, so then second superclass is Openanita. Okay, so second superclass is of subphylum Sarcomastida is Openanita. Okay, so Openanita, cilia-like flagella present for locomotion. Okay, so cilia-like flagella in what in which organism are present may be asked in the exam. So our answer is Opelina. Okay, so Opelina is one of the example of superclass Openanita, and this Opelina example, this Opelina protozoa also feed or live on the frogs and toads, so we can say parasites mode of nutrition. So parasites on frog and toads. Okay, so then superclass third comes, and this is none other than Sarcodina. Okay, so in Sarcodina superclasses of Sarcomesticophora subphylum is uh, locomotion done by pseudopodia. So pseudopodia, we take an example like amoeba. Okay, and mode of nutrition is holozoic means animal like mode of nutrition, or maybe saprozoic means depend on dead materials. Okay, so this superclass also including three classes. So three classes, what is three classes? So first class is rhizopoda, second is actinopoda, and third is pyroplasma. So in rhizopoda classes of Sarcodina superclass. Okay, so Sarcodina superclass is having class rhizopoda. So in rhizopoda, locomotion done by pseudopodia. So without axial filament, इसमें कोई axial filament नहीं होते, and by pseudopodia having also subclass lobi Lobosia. Okay, so in Lobosia, finger-like pseudopodia are present like in amoeba. So amoeba's order is Amoeboidea, as the name suggests, amoeba. Okay, and the second order is Foraminifera, and there's have including the example of Alphidium. Okay, but in second class of Sarcodyna is Actinopoda. Actinopoda having protozoans have locomotory organs, axial filaments. Okay, so axial filament, by the axial filaments they uh, play a role of locomotion. Okay, so then Actinopoda also have a subclass Heliozoia and Radiolaria. Okay, so Heliozoia and Radiolaria. Heliozoia including the example Actinophrys, and Radiolaria including the example Colozoium. Okay, so Heliozoia and Radiolaria both having a symmetry of spherical. Okay, so ball like structure of these animals. Okay, so third class of this Sarcodyna is Pyroplasmia. So in Pyroplasmia, red parasitic of vertebrates, also known as red parasitic of vertebrates, Pyroplasmia class. Okay, so example is Babesia. Then second subphylum comes like Sporozoa. Okay, so in Sporozoa, as the name suggests, spores like organisms that have not have any locomotory organs. So this subphylum have no locomotory organs, and usually spores are also present in this organism. Three classes including sporozoans like Telospora, Toxoplasmia, and Haplospora. So in Telospora class of Sporozoa, so what we have, monocystis and plasmodium. Monocystis and plasmodium. So plasmodium is one of the important example including in Telospora class and subphylum Sporozoa. Okay, so spore may be naked or may be insisted. Okay, so having protective layer, chitinous protective layer. So two subclasses are present in Teleospora class. So what is two subclasses is Gregaridia and Coccidia. Okay, then second class is Toxoplasmia. So Toxoplasmia, in Toxoplasmia classes, spore is absent. Okay, so spore is absent. So example is Toxoplasma as the name of classes, and third classes is Heplospora. So in Heplospora, spore is insistment in protective chitinous layer, and example of Heplospora classes is Ichthyosporidia. Okay, so Ichthyosporidia. So next subphylum comes like Nidospora. So in Nidospora subphylum, we will discuss about the um, locomotory organ is polar filaments. Okay, so polar filaments and the spores also present. So spore with polar filaments comes in Nidospora subphylum, and this subphylum also including two classes. So Mixosporidia and Microsporidia. So Mixosporidia including having spore size large and developed from several nuclei. So more than one nucleus, okay, present in this class Mixosporidia, and example is Mixobolus. But in Microsporidia, spore size is small and developed from single nuclei. Okay, and example is Nosema. So Fourth subphylum comes like Coeliophora, as the name suggests. The locomotory organ is cilia. Okay, and two type of nucleus means heteromorphic protozoans are included in this subphylum Coeliophora. So two type of nucleus are present in this subphylum. So mostly one class is important. One class included in this subphylum is Ciliata, as the name suggests, of subphylum Coeliophora. So Ciliata is the important class, which have also four sub class. Okay, so because class also have suffix subclass, so in hierarchical system, so four subclasses including in class Ciliata. So first subclass is Holotricha. So in Holotricha, buccal cilia is mostly absent. Buccal cilia means uh, uh, almost mouth-like organs, mouth-like projection in protozoans called buccal part, and in this mouth surrounding parts, if present cilia present on the surrounding part of mouth, so we called buccal cilia. But the buccal cilia, these buccal cilia are absent in this subclass Holotricha. Buccal cilia are absent. Okay, and six order including in this subclass Holotricha. So uh, Trichostomata and Hymenostomata, and the example including Belentidium and Paramecium respectively. Okay, so Paramecium is the most important example, comes in Holotricha subclass and Ciliata classes of subphylum Coeliophora. Okay, then second subclass is Peritricha. Uh, in Peritricha, adult protozoans have not body cilia, without body cilia, like Vorticella. Example Vorticella. Okay. Then third subclass is Suctoria. In Suctoria, uh, adult suctorial tentacle are present. Okay, so in suctorial tentacle present in adult protozoan in Suctoria. Okay, so example is Ephilota. Okay, then fourth sub class is Spirotricha. In Spirotricha, buccal cilia, the cilia present in surrounding the mouth part, all well marked. Okay, so present, and this subclass including two order Heterotrophic and Hypotrichida, and including examples Stentor and Ephilotus respectively. Okay, so here we all discuss about the characteristics and classification of the phylum Protozoa. Okay, so if you like this video, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you want. Okay, so bye bye.